Hi, my name is Chloe Jitz. I'm a fourth year student speech pathologist at the University of Newcastle, Australia. The reason that I am applying to speak is when I received the email, I started reflecting upon an experience that I actually have recently had in Vietnam. So through my university, there's something called the Southeast Asian Stream. That's where the student completes a 20-unit elective, but then you actually get to go and complete your final year placement in a country in Southeast Asia. So I was lucky enough to go to Vietnam for this placement. So there we spent about almost a month. Half of that time was in a school for disabilities in Hoi An, and then for the other half of that time we went to Ho Chi Minh City, where we visited a various amount of hospitals and worked with the new graduate speech pathologists over there. Through this stream, we actually have to complete an individualised learning project. So that's where we get to choose a topic surrounding a speech pathology in Southeast Asia, and we get to run with it. So for my project, I actually am creating a video to raise awareness for the needs of speech pathology in Vietnam, and I'm going to be distributing this video around Australia through various sources like Speech Pathology Australia, the Trin Foundation, and organisations like that, and to raise awareness to really get these speech pathologists over there. The beautiful thing though about this project is whilst it is specific to speech pathology, it actually has just opened my eyes to so many different things. And the thing that I would really love to talk about at the conference is just the need to change our expectation upon people in developing countries and how we expect them to actually access health and allied health and so many different services. When I was in Vietnam, I had a lot of different experiences. For example, there was a family who heard about the tongue man. So the tongue man is where if a child is non-verbal, they'll actually take their child to the tongue man. They'll ask the child to stick their tongue out. He'll pull the tongue. Clearly that hurts. And so they say, ow. And then that is seen as the child can miraculously talk. Another thing is that a family travelled a really long distance and spent a lot of their life earnings upon some medicinal herbs and things that they were told would allow their child to speak. The thing about this is that these families go to such huge lengths to help their children, to help their family members, to help their community, to help themselves. And there is a really, really, really large gap between what they need and what they can actually get. These examples, I guess, just really highlighted to me how much we can do and how much we can help. But it also showed me how we cannot just go in and impose our ideas on them and really create a facility, create a program, send some money, go and visit a centre for a day and then leave. No, we cannot do that. It's like asking a child who is deaf to listen harder. They don't have the auditory pathways, they don't have the things built into them to be able to listen. So how can we place that expectation on that child? It clearly will not be met unless there is support that is structured from where they're at to where they need. these pathways need to be built with these people, and they need to be implemented in a way that is applicable to them, to where they're at, and to look at where they're going. We're not going to go straight there. We're going to go in, we're going to know their culture, we're going to see where they're at, what they need, what is already in place, and work with them from there. And then we're going to get these stepping stones, and we're going to build and build and build, and then they'll get there. If we don't build from the foundation up, it's going to topple, it's going to break, and it's just absolutely ridiculous to think that these people who are so beautiful and loving and ready to know more and ready to seek more services to help their families, it's ridiculous to think that if we just come in and do something and leave it with them, that is sustainable, because it is not. It just really isn't. When I was in Vietnam, I learned that you have to be flexible. We are very blessed in Australia, where I'm from, with the access to schooling, to knowledge, to learning more. It is constantly surrounding us, and we have the ability to learn and to adapt. The thing is though, when you go into a developing country, you cannot just simply impose these ideas and leave it with them. These people already have things in place, but they have no direction and they have no continued support. I guess the thing that I would just so desperately urge all the young people around the world, no matter what profession they're going into, what humanitarian right they're all about, to go in and to look and to meet with them, to sit down with them, to get to their level, to talk with them, to understand them, and to adapt what you know and what your expectation is right to where their need is, right there and then. We need to do that collaboratively. We need to be flexible, and these ideas just cannot be imposed. My project is about raising the awareness for speech pathology. My passion is that every single human being on this planet needs to communicate. They have the right to communicate. It's a human right, and they need to be able to access that, and that is why I'm doing my video. That is just such a small piece in the puzzle though, and there are so many things that each of us can do in our profession, but it's about getting there, and it's meeting them where they're at, and it's understanding that yes, this is what they need eventually down the track, but this is where they are. We need to go and we need to look at those little stepping stones that are going to get them there, because in the end, that is what's sustainable, and that is how they will achieve their goal. That is how they'll help their family. That is how they will support them. And if we create these little stepping stones, then that is sustainable, and that is what's going to be implemented when you go back home.